Right now on 44 News Tonight, here's a look at some of the top stories that we're following. A nightmare situation leads to a man facing serious charges, while police say the suspect locked a victim in a room with scalding hot steam. And crews continue to work on the massive sinkhole along Riverside Drive, how long they plan to have the section of the road blocked off from drivers. Plus, our Screaming Eagles were back in action today, looking at a shot at the OVC tournament title game. 44 News reporter Emmy Fazenbaker has a look at their performance.
And we're going to be tracking a cooler overnight, but still a pretty stellar weekend despite the cool down. All you know how long we'll have to wait until it warms right back up. Coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 44 News at 10.
First on 44 News Tonight, a terrifying situation inside of a Hopkins County food processing plant leads to an arrest. According to police, a worker at Landefrost was locked inside of a high-temperature steam room with no clear way to escape. Police are detailing the moments that left one woman trapped and the man accused of putting her there behind bars. 44 News reporter Courtney Green breaks down the latest in the investigation.
Madisonville police say Barrett Corinta locked a co-worker inside a rack washroom at Landefrost, turned the machine on and left her trapped as scalding steam and chemicals filled the space. According to police, the victim and Corinta were working together in the rack washroom where trays are sanitized using 200-degree steam. Police records say the victim and Corinta were having a conversation about the door to the room. In the report, police say Corinta told the victim that they can close them in the room. After the victim reacted negatively, they say Corinta left the room and started the machine to create the scalding hot steam with the victim inside.
Our understanding is up to 200 degrees the room can get up to when it's closed. And so at some point, the two of them were talking about how the one could shut the other one in there, and obviously he did. And so when he pushed her in there, he started the machine.
Investigators say the victim had no way to exit. The door wouldn't open from the inside, and the second door was blocked by pallets. She managed to hit the emergency shutoff, but by then the damage was done. She briefly lost consciousness before falling to the floor and was later treated at a hospital for minor injuries.
At this point, I don't want to speculate on exactly why I did it. It was just joking around, even though that's not really a good joke. But at this point, yeah, we charged him accordingly.
Corinta was arrested for wanton endangerment and unlawful imprisonment, but was released early Friday morning after posting a $1,000 bond. The factory terminated the employment of Corinta after the incident.
We don't know if it was malicious or if it was just one of those things that you're not really thinking things through. But at the end of the day, you know, she was put in there against her will, locked in, and somehow the machine was started.
44 News has reached out to Landefrost. We have yet to receive a statement on the incident. Corinta is set to appear in court on March 14th. We'll continue following this story as it develops. Reporting in Madisonville, Courtney Green, 44 News.
Thank you, Courtney. A former University of Evansville locksmith will be sentenced next week. In January, Zachariah Brock pleaded guilty to charges of fraud, forgery, and theft. Brock was arrested and charged after being accused of abusing his position as a locksmith to steal mail, checks, and dozens of pairs of women's underwear. He is set to be sentenced at 9 a.m. in Vanderburgh County on Monday. And in Indianapolis, authorities are investigating a possible mass overdose event downtown. Now, this happened across the street from the Julia Carson Transit Center. We're told 6 people were hospitalized after a 911 call was placed, reporting several people possibly overdosing on scene. Crews arrived, and they found 4 people struggling to breathe, 2 more with other symptoms. As of right now, 5 people are in critical condition. Indiana police say it is unknown at this time what substance, if any, are involved. And as the town of Chandler continues to deal with the aftermath of a partial mine collapse, officials are stressing the importance of mine subsidence insurance. Chandler and Warwick County officials are recommending that residents look into the insurance after several homes were damaged or destroyed. Now here in Evansville, leaders are doing the same thing. Emergency management says coal mining was common in Vanderburgh County, and they're recommending homeowners to take a look at Indiana DNR's coal mine map and decide if you need any coverage. The Ohio County Water District is trying to help residents impacted by a large water main break. Around 1,700 people will not have water for the next couple of days after crews located a water main break under the William Natcher Parkway. Earlier today, officials handed out bottled water at the Veterans Monument parking area in Rosine, Kentucky.
We also are offering bulk water distribution. If a person or family is customer is needing bulk water, anything over 400 gallons, then they can call our office.
If you need 400 gallons or more, just call the Ohio County Water District to make arrangements for pickup. Officials with the Evansville Water and Sewer Utility are providing an update on that sinkhole that formed on Riverside Drive last week. Now, parts of the road has been closed, causing a bit of a traffic disruption for many people across downtown Evansville. They are excavating the area to assess exactly what the damage is to the 100-year-old brick sewer main and just how to repair it. They say right now they aren't sure how long those repairs will take.
We're guessing at this point because we haven't really seen exactly the damage to the older sewer main. It could take a couple weeks. It may be a little longer. It may be a little shorter. It just really depends what we find once we get down to the actual affected area.
The public is advised to take Walnut Street up to Southeast 2nd instead of Southeast 1st to avoid any traffic congestion. Well, turning to weather now, a cool night ahead for the area, but temperatures are going to continue to warm up throughout the weekend and into next week. And Storm Team 44 meteorologist Gunnar Consul's here tracking just how nice that weekend's going to be. Gunnar?
Yeah, so it'll be a little chillier, especially compared to maybe today, and compared especially with where we're going to be at the end of next week. So, yes, it's going to be nice, but just forewarning before I show you that 7-day forecast, just know the next 7 days, the coldest of the 7, those 2 days are going to be Saturday and Sunday. Right now, we've got increased cloud cover. You can kind of see the city lights reflecting off the clouds that are moving in. We're seeing temperatures pretty steady. We're also noticing a small temperature difference depending on where you are. There's kind of an air mass boundary pushing through. We got southerly winds in the south, northerly winds in the north, and that's why we have the blue in the north, yellow in the south. And this is also where we're tracking the rain, because that rain is riding on that boundary. So if we look at the radar, we don't see much rain, but it is there, and we got light rain pushing through our northeastern tier, just bringing a little bit of rain. And since it's nighttime, all our days are pretty much done for, and we're phoning it in for the rest of the day. We don't really need to worry about these showers. They're not going to be causing too much of a headache. But as those showers work their way south, those northerly winds behind them will pretty much envelop the entire tri-state, and thus we'll be able to kiss those 50s goodbye. 40s reemerge, which set us up for a pretty chilly start to our day tomorrow. We have a cool weekend ahead, but it'll be worth it when I show you the forecast for next week. I'll have those numbers coming up.
Thank you, Gunnar. Well, it was semifinal day at the Ford Center for the Ohio Valley Conference Basketball Championship Tournament, and our 44 News reporter Emmy Fazenbaker was there for all the action. She has more on how our Screaming Eagles played today.
It was a hard-fought battle for the Screaming Eagles today, and it was down to the wire with Tennessee Tech after they were tied 14 different times throughout the entire game. But ultimately, they fell to the Golden Eagles 88-78. Now, when they walked into this tournament, they were the reigning OVC champions. They felt like they had a lot to prove, and they did just that. They kept a lot of defensive pressure at the top of the key, each competitor that they played the last 3 days in this tournament. And another thing that they are known for is their post-play action, and it's credited to being one of the best in the leagues. But what hurt them overall today was the lack of execution on the free throw line. But forward Meredith Rayleigh doing what she always does best with a total of 29 points, constantly executing a cross-back screen up the paint for 10 of those points. There was a heightened of emotion, especially in the second half, and Coach says the level of intensity is exactly what this team represents. Head coach Rick Stein tells me the girls stayed strong and resilient throughout the course of the last 2 years.
A back-to-back 20-win seasons in our second and third year of Division I is no small task. It's an amazing accomplishment, and get into the Final Four of this tournament. Our third day in a row of basketball today, and we just kept fighting.
The team is hoping this isn't the last time they will be playing together if they are fortunate enough to get a bid to the WNIT tournament. After speaking with Tennessee Tech's head coach, she says that the USI Screaming Eagles played like the champions they are today on the hardwood, and that's something they should be proud of. But for now, reporting in Evansville, Emmy Fazenbaker, 44 News.
Thank you, Emmy. Well, happening this weekend, the new Kentucky Sports Factory in Madisonville set to host a grand opening event. While the facility is already open, this does give residents a chance to score some prizes, birthday party incentives, and just see everything that building has to offer, which is a lot. The celebration will take place Saturday, March 8th from 11 until 2. And a benefit Evansville First Responders hockey game for EPD Officer Jordan Rundle is taking place at Swander Ice Arena Saturday night. Officer Rundle was hospitalized for over a month following an off-duty car crash. But thankfully, EPD says Officer Rundle is back on light work duty and will remain on assignment as he continues rehab. Puck drop for that game is at 7 o'clock. Davis County High School has a new head football coach this year. Meet Quidarius Wallace. School district officials say Coach Wallace spent his first day as head coach introducing himself to the players. They plan on having a community meet and greet event at a later time. But from all of us here, big congratulations and good luck next season. Uncertainty lingers despite a tariff pause on many goods from Mexico and Canada. That and the latest on the war in Ukraine, all coming up. Plus, the latest on the Pope's lengthy hospital stay and his message tonight to his supporters.
Schedule your heating tune-up with A+ Dirt today. Your call for comfort.
Start your day with 44 News this morning.
Live, local, late breaking from where you live.
Stories that matter to you.
We're getting new information into the newsroom right now.
And the latest forecast.
Tracking what could change your big plans with the Storm Team 44 forecast.
It's what you need to know so you can plan your day.
Start your day with 44 News this morning. Live, local, late-breaking coverage from where you live.
New tonight, President Donald Trump spent much of the day focusing on several international issues, including the tariff war with the nation's major trade partners and that conflict in Ukraine. News correspondent Erica Brown reports tonight from the White House.
A day after he postponed 25% tariffs on many imports from Mexico and some from Canada, President Trump threatened to impose reciprocal tariffs on Canadian lumber and dairy imports in the coming days.
Canada has been ripping us off for years on tariffs for lumber and for dairy products.
As the Trump administration pushes for a peace deal to end Russia's war with Ukraine, Russia continues to bombard Ukraine with missiles and drones.
Right now, they're bombing the hell out of Ukraine.
President Trump says he's strongly considering sanctions and tariffs on Russia.
In terms of getting a final settlement, it may be easier dealing with Russia, which is surprising because they have all the cards.
President Trump sent a letter to Iran's supreme leader seeking to negotiate a nuclear deal as the Islamic Republic advances its nuclear program.
I'm not speaking out of strength or weakness. I'm just saying I'd rather see a peace deal than the other, but the other will solve the problem.
And the Trump administration announced it's pulling $400 million in federal grants and contracts from Columbia University, saying the school failed to protect Jewish students. Columbia University has been the site of pro-Palestinian protests since the October 7th, 2023 terror attack on Israel and the war that followed. In a statement, Education Secretary Linda McMahon said, quote, universities must comply with all federal anti-discrimination laws if they're going to receive federal funding. For too long, Columbia has abandoned that obligation to Jewish students studying on its campus. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
And now, Storm Team 44, powered by Bracket Heating and Air.
All right, let's take a look at those current conditions right now across the tri-state. In downtown Evansville, we're starting to notice those increased clouds throughout. That's because we got northerly winds moving in, some cooler, cloudier air for our overnight tonight. Right now it's 52, still not bad, especially because our feels like temperature is still the air temperature, and that's due to the fact that we still have a light south wind for now, and the winds are calm. Let's look at other parts of the tri-state. 58 in Madisonville, 50 in Owensboro, 56 in Harrisburg. So we got a pretty varied amount, almost a 10-degree difference depending on where you are in the region. So Madisonville feeling a little bit warmer, but that's because those northerly winds haven't quite reached you just yet. When all is said and done by tonight, by the time we're rising tomorrow morning, we're going to be seeing those 40s and upper 30s throughout the tri-state. So it's going to feel a little chilly, but I think it'll be worth it because tomorrow isn't going to be too bad. When we're walking Fido, we notice the increased clouds through the morning. The temperatures are chilly because we got 40s and we got the north wind. But even though we'll have a north wind through the rest of the day, temperatures and conditions won't honestly be too bad because we'll notice a clearing trend in those clouds. And then we will also be noticing we at least get to 50 degrees for a few hours. So the morning is chilly. If you want to go for a run, a walk, it's not going to be too bad. But by the afternoon, we'll reach the 50s. It'll be nice enough that if you have a windbreaker and a long sleeve on, you should be just fine. We're not looking at wind gusts up to 20. It should be a pretty nice and peaceful day. And then for the evening, it's our last day in standard time. So unfortunately, we are going to be having the sun down at around 5:50. But Sunday, we're going to be seeing the sunset at 6:50. So a big difference in how much time we have to enjoy the outdoor conditions depending on the day. Now, let's just take a look at what we're looking at in terms of the weekend and beyond. Sunday is looking much nicer than tomorrow. We're into the upper 50s. We got light wind. We'll have sunshine, just about as sunny as tomorrow will be by the afternoon, but it'll be sunny all day. Monday, we're starting off nice. We'll notice, too, that it's warm. We'll have daylight once we get off of work finally, so we'll actually be able to enjoy the nice days as they come after we get off of work. Tuesday's even warmer, and then just you wait. We got more 70-degree days on tap. Just remember, in the Midwest, whenever it's warm like this in March, usually it's followed by severe weather. At least in the foreseeable future, we're not seeing anything on the horizon just yet, so we don't need to start monitoring anything really. Just monitoring spring forward. And then if I have time, we'll also talk about the lunar eclipse on Friday, but at least clear conditions expected for that.
Thank you, Gunnar. Well, authorities in Santa Fe, New Mexico say actor Gene Hackman died of a heart disease compounded by severe Alzheimer's disease about a week after his wife passed away from a virus. The 95-year-old actor and his 65-year-old wife both found dead in their home on February 26th. The New Mexico State Medical Examiner says it appears Betsy Arakawa Hackman died around February 11th of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, which is caused by contact with rodent excrement. Now, she said Gene Hackman's pacemaker data stopped on February 18th, a week after his wife died.
The question was, what about starvation? So there was no food in his stomach, which means he had not eaten recently, but he had also no evidence of dehydration. He had significant heart disease, and I think ultimately that is what resulted in his death.
The medical examiner says Hackman also suffered from severe kidney problems. Authorities say they do not know whether Hackman was aware of his wife's death during the week before he passed away due to severe Alzheimer's disease. Friday, the Vatican said Pope Francis spent a peaceful night. That's the latest update on the 88-year-old pontiff's health as he continues to battle double pneumonia. According to the Vatican source, Pope Francis appears to stable and continues to alternate non-invasive medical ventilation at night and high-flow oxygen therapy through the nose. The Pope released an audio message Thursday night thanking supporters for their prayers. Well, a big week in Owensboro. The fan favorite Burger Week began today. All those details when we return. Welcome back. If you're hungry and in a taste for burgers, good news. Burger Week in Owensboro is officially underway now. Burger Week, of course, showcases signature burgers from restaurants throughout the city and county. During Owensboro Burger Week, each participating restaurant sells a burger of their choosing for just $8. Each restaurant will then decide how large the burger will be and if it comes with any sides. Then the judging panel tastes all the burgers and chooses their winner.
Now that we've been doing it for 4 or 5 years, it's really blown up, and there's 48 or 49 different restaurants this year that participate. I think last year total was over 60,000 burgers that people purchased in that time. So the community seems to really enjoy it.
You can find a list of participating restaurants at OwensboroBurgerWeek.com. The event runs now through March 15th. And if you have a craving for fish fry, you might want to head over to Germania Manicor. Starting today, Germania will be serving up their famous Lenten fish fries. The meal consists of 2 breaded and deep-fried fillets, choice of potato salad, baked or green beans, coleslaw, and rye bread for $15 a plate. Other meal options also available.
Today is the fish fry. We're opening up our annual Lenten fish fries. This is one of 4 major events that we're going to have here involving Lent.
You can grab dinner on the first and third Friday of the month in March and April. It is open to the public and served from 4:45 to 7. And new tonight, a local Evansville restaurant is opening a cocktail lounge this summer. Patsy Hardigan's Irish Pub announced they will be opening the Clover Club. The lounge will be open in the basement of the pub at 203 Main Street. The restaurant says work has begun on that space, and they hope to cut the ribbon on the lounge in a few months. Also new tonight, if you're a fan of espresso martinis, get ready for the Espresso Martini Festival. Henderson Chamber of Commerce is set to host it at various locations throughout Henderson. Those locations will have different varieties of espresso martinis, serving them up for just $12 a drink. The festival runs from March 13th through the 15th. And Davis County leaders are recognizing March as National Social Work Month. Now on Thursday night, Davis County Fiscal Court presented a proclamation to highlight the dedication of social workers that help children and adults in need in the county.
I am a social worker, and it is an honor to receive this proclamation of March as Social Work Month. But the credit really goes to the social workers in our country and in this room.
Leaders say this year's theme is social work, compassion, and action to embody the fact that social workers go through years of education and training. And the Davis County Sheriff's Office is taking new applications for their second class of the Citizens Academy. Officials say it provides a hands-on experience for the public to connect with deputies about their roles in the community and the operations that are behind it. The 8-week program begins on April 9th and will be held every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. A link to the application can be found over on our website. The deadline to apply is March 19th.
And we're overlooking downtown Evansville. The winds of change are here, and we'll be seeing cooler conditions tonight. But I'll show you the hope in the forecast. We got above average conditions for early next week. I'll you know just how above average and talk a little bit about that lunar eclipse coming up.
Storm Team 44 on Classic Hits, 107.1 WJPS.
So here's a little information about that upcoming lunar eclipse. It's just like a solar eclipse, except it's the moon in the Earth's shadow instead of like the solar eclipse that we saw. It'll be next Friday, so in just a week. It'll happen late, though, so if you want to see a red moon, you'll have to wait until 1:26, which I guess is technically Saturday, but it's happening Friday night, and it'll last until about 2:30 a.m., and then we are going to be seeing that end right around sunrise. A beautiful next week. We're going to be tracking temperatures in the 60s and 70s. But enough about the weather. I have an announcement that I'm sure a lot of people already kind of are aware of. So for the past 1,145 days, I've had the privilege of serving the people of Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky at 44 News. But as many of you already know, today is my last day here. There have been some obvious changes to Storm Team 44, but I want to assure you that I am leaving on my own accord. First, I want to thank the incredible meteorologists past and present that I've worked with here, especially my current chief, Griffin Glasscock. She not only helped me refine my craft, but also recruited me to come here to Evansville. I arrived nearly fresh out of college after less than a year at a TV station in Ohio, and I'm grateful to my news director, Warren Stewart, and 44 News Management for taking the chance on little old me and providing immeasurable support and guidance. Over the past 3 years, I've delivered countless hours of severe weather coverage at all hours of the day in the studio, out in the field, or even in the storm chaser. I've told the heartbreaking stories of neighborhoods hit by tornadoes, still recovering from the December 10th tornado. I've even had to resort to ice skating on city streets after an ice storm as a deep freeze settled in. I've even been brought to tears on air during last April's total solar eclipse, and that may not have been the last time. I've had so many career-defining experiences here, and I'm grateful for every single one of them. To the viewers who welcomed me into their homes, thank you for your patience, encouragement, and support as I became the meteorologist I am today. I've built lifelong friendships like my buddy right here, and not just in the newsroom, but also in the community, and you know who you are, and I hope you know just how much I love each and every one of you. and what you mean to me. Luckily, my next adventure takes me somewhere familiar where friends are already ready to welcome me back. For the second time in my life, this Florida boy is going back to New England. In a few weeks, I'll be moving to Burlington, Vermont to join the WCAX weather team, where my alma mater, Plymouth State University, which is in the viewing area, which will feel like a full circle moment. I'm excited for what's to come, and I want to thank everyone for the opportunity. It's been a pleasure working with you, Ben.
It's been a pleasure working with you, too. I know I speak for everybody here, but we will miss him greatly. Thank you for making us your choice in news tonight.